The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
Eric's Family Barbecue has arrived and is simply the best barbecue in Arizona. Come satisfy your taste buds with meats that are smoked over mesquite wood and sides that are made with fresh ingredients and tons of love. They have the best, juiciest brisket, pulled pork, rib sausage, turkey, or everyone's favorite, the Pitmaster Sampler that includes all the meat and 4 sides, mac and cheese, potato salad, coleslaw, corn, or beans, yum. And for dessert, try some creamy banana pudding, amazing. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip, you won't be sorry. Dine in or take it to go. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more info.
This man needs medical attention.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
The old method of treatment for a person in this condition was to throw him in jail.
98 KUPD.
I just had a hankering for some street corn, boys. What just happened? I don't know what happened. I walked into the kitchen where the barbecue was yesterday from Eric's Barbecue, and for some reason I'm like, oh, I could go for a big old... I got too much elote in my system, and now I'm hooked. Street corn needs to follow me around. I like it. I want some more. Big old mouthful of it. Anyway, sorry. Can't go in the kitchen anymore. It's a trigger. It's a trigger for delightful treats. Yeah, and then Eric texted
I know how you feel.
I can imagine. This is. I should have thought of, been more sensitive to this. Is how Brady's life has. Every room has a food memory. Some of those that harken back and sneak up on you when you least expect it, and they look better than ever. Those delicious legs on that ham. Oh, wouldn't you just like to spread those open and chow down on that ham again, Brady? Remember that room?
Yeah.
I had that just a minute ago. I forgot what I was thinking about all that street corn. I'd like, I'd like a woman in the form of street corn to just materialize. And it should be the perfect woman because she'd be made of street corn. She'd look like, if I had weird science, she'd be perfect. She'd be shaped beautifully. She'd smell of street corn. And then I'd eat her and she'd be gone. Would never have to deal with her.
Just put a wig on the ear.
Well, I don't need a wig for that. I find bald beautiful. Although I'd probably wig her up a little bit. It's a little too much like banging yourself if you're a street corn person. Oh, that would be tasty. So another old man story, because yesterday I shared my hip replacement plans with me and my 77-year-old friend Skip, sharing BOGO Day on hip replacements on the 24th. So yesterday my friend and I, Colin, humongous fans of Silence of the Lambs. Both of us. We wanted to write a musical called Silence, where there were songs for no reason at all in the middle of the story. And we wrote, they were really good. This was years ago. It came out 30 years ago on Valentine's Day. The great James Gumb and Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling. So they re-show old movies on Tuesday. Have you been to one of these?
Oh, yeah. I went and seen Goodfellas, Smokey and the Bandit.
Was it crowded?
It actually was.
It was packed last night.
Yeah.
$5. They do Tuesday night replays of old movies that, you're like, God, I hope this holds up on the big screen. And man, does Silence of the Lambs hold up on the big screen. It was suspenseful again. I've seen this thing 100 times. It was basically Rocky Horror Picture Show for Colin and I. We know the whole movie up and down. So we can quote it. But we were quiet, like, watching this thing. So, but here's the thing. Getting into it. I bought tickets online, as you do.
Yep.
To go to this thing.
Pick your seat.
Yeah, you can pick your seat and all that stuff. So I do that, meet Colin at the thing by 6:45, roll up 15 minutes before the thing starts. Roll up to the lady, beep, beep, I barcode, because they email you stuff that says, do you want your tickets now, or do you want them text to you? And I'm like, well, I'm holding the same device. I mean, what the So I hit the button. This is exactly what happened to me at the Suns game. Barcode. Beep. It's not a thing. Well, you're the one with the... It is a thing. Look, here's the receipt. Here's how much I paid. It's right in front of you. It's a thing. Here, do it again. Boop. It says it's an invalid ticket. And I'm like, well, what do we do about that? Because now the ball's in your court. Like, if I had a paper ticket, that system that used to work just fine.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. Boop. And she goes, you know what? Take it over to him. Now, the ticket taker is Bernie Sanders in a COVID mask.
Oh, no.
I swear he just looks, Colin's like, we got to go over to Bernie Sanders now.
Does he have the mittens?
And I'm like, well, that's what I said. We got to go. If this doesn't go, we're just going to go buy this guy really expensive mittens and come back. And I'm like, and besides, when you have somebody that looks that much like Bernie Sanders at the gates of the theater. Shouldn't he want everyone to just get in for free?
Yeah, he should let you. Problem.
Everyone,
Yeah.
the price of movies are too high for everybody, and I think that the poor people can't afford to go see these films because it's $30. The average family spends $100. Oh, everybody in for nothing. Everybody free popcorn and a delightful soda pop. So there's Bernie. Whoops, there's Bernie, and he's doing his thing. Goes up, boop, nothing. Sorry, no go. And then Colin goes, man, no kidding. He goes, that might be Bernie Sanders. Like, we were pretty
convinced.
The closer we, when you see somebody from distance goes, oh, there's movie ticket taker Bernie Sanders. Or, there's Indian Danny Ainge was, like, we're pointing out people and doing who they look like if they were this. But we looked at each other like, this actually may be Bernie Sanders. Nope, sorry. That's nothing I could do. Go back to the desk. Boop. I'm like, all right, now it's 7. I'm like, movie's starting. Forget it. And he goes, well, do you have the card you purchased these on? And I'm like, yes. What's the name? I'm like, it's on the card. And I'm not mad at you. But
Here you go, sugar jugs.
This system sucks. Just print out. And so the manager comes over. Now there's a line of like 12 people. And every one of them's like, this happens every time I come here. This place should be called Harkins Fashion Square. Take your time. You're going to be 15 minutes late for your movie.
Our system doesn't
work.
work.
Our system doesn't work. So, boop, nothing. Well, and the guy's in the computer, and I'm just like, it's a $5 ticket. And then he goes, well, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, 2 for Silence of the Lambs, please. And I hand him the card, and he goes, well, I don't want you to have to pay twice. And I'm like, I'm willing to give you $100 to not go any further than this. Right. 2 more. And so he's looking at it. We're all struggling with why it won't work. He won't let go of the idea that this thing has to be the ticket. And he goes, all right, pick your seats. Pick 2 new seats. And I'm like, we're just going to sit in the seats I chose earlier today. And goes back and forth. Then we're going back. We're doing mindless talk about it. I'm like, just 2 tickets for the goddamn thing. Here's $10. We're going in. Get the new tickets. And then as I look at the phone, and I'm like, oh, I bought tickets for Christown. Sorry about that. It was all my fault. I was an indignant prick for about 8 minutes. And then you bastard.
This is your problem.
And I did it. It's my problem. I did it. But goddamn it, give me tickets. I'd have noticed hard tickets. But I hate that system. And technically going back, it wasn't really my fault because when I hit buy tickets, it took you right to the Christown thing instead of the Fashion Square. So it was a little glitch on the Fandango side. So every ticket sold. Because when they showed me the seating chart and said pick 2 new seats, I'm like, we're G1, G2. And I'm like, this is a different theater than what was on the computer. And that's when my brain said, you aren't at the right location. And I looked and I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, and I know for a fact I wouldn't have picked the Christown Theater. I want to live. Also, it would have been fun, though, to see Silence of the Lambs with an audience of black people.
Oh, been so loud.
Oh, man.
Shooting at the screen and everything. And
hey, Senator, love your suit. Hannibal got your ass, bitch. All right. Bitch in the well. This is my favorite part. Put the lotion in the basket, dumbass.
Half the theater's empty. They ran out.
Yeah,
something freaks them out.
I would,
Silence. Taking Thunder Horse with you. You'd have been fine.
I wasn't worried about anybody murdering me. I was just maybe I was a little bit. Yeah. That's probably, I wouldn't go to Christown for that. But, I was, like, Silence of the Lambs with a black audience would have been phenomenal. Phenomenal. And he's like, you help me out with this a little bit? I was getting that couch in the back of the van. Don't help, dumb bitch. Don't. No, man. What you getting in the van for?
That's your ass.
That's your ass. I don't feel sorry for you, dumbass. How come you got such a crappy apartment? Your mama's a senator. What are you living in a terrible neighborhood for? Dumb bitch getting in the back of a van in the middle of the night. Who gonna feed that cat? Hey, who gonna feed your cat? That would be the best way to do that.
That ain't right.
I was with a white audience who chuckled uncomfortably at Hannibal Lecter's "What did Mig say to you?" Multiple Migs in the next cell. He hissed something. What was it? I can smell your... And they go, ha, 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 ha. Like, you sick weirdos. That's not a laugh line. That's a repulsive moment in the movie where Multiple Mig says he can smell her C word. And then the close-up of Hannibal's nose. I, however, cannot. Use Evian skin cream. Like, oh, man. And these people are like, hee. He can smell it. I'm like, stop. Yeah, white people laughed at all the psychopath moments. I think a black audience gets Silence of the Lambs a whole lot better.
Maybe
like,
it gets funnier the more you see it. I don't know.
I've seen it 100
Yeah, I
times, and
know,
none of it
you
was
know.
funny. Like, I know the moments that are funny. Like, tell me about Catherine. Is she a large girl, big through the hips, roomy? Those are the moments you're like, ew. Those are. But white audience was like, yeah, is she? She's gonna die, and they're like weird. But black people are like, yeah, sounds like a hot bitch to me. Wide through the hip, roomy. Damn, you killed that big fat white girl. That's a tragedy. Just kill one of them skinny bitches, Jane. Kill Jodie Foster. She too skinny. I would like to watch Silence of it. It was great though. It held up. And that's a cool little thing. They got a few of them. Like my favorite movie of all time is Rear Window, and I missed it a month ago. They're coming back in October. I've never seen that on a big screen. But I'm like Silence of the Lambs on the big screen.
We were
was
talking
great.
about the other. Not too long ago because it's funny. It's different. A lot of people are saying no. I like my home theater, but
No, it's not even. Well, all new movies are terrible at home, but all new movies are also terrible. Like all those Marvel movies they're not. They're eye candy. There's nothing special about it. You can miss them, and I can talk to people about the Marvel movies so long as they're not nerds, and pretty much go. And then I assume everyone landed on one knee, looked up, and the fight ended with this. Oh yeah, but you don't know because when that Infinity Wars thing happened and Mo and Larry isn't that weird? We got a Mo and a Larry. We need a Curly. I guess I'd be Curly, right? I guess that's me. So Mo and Larry and the bald guy are in. Well, that's odd. I never really put that together. And they're talking in the office. I'm just like a really in shape Curly. We got Mo, Larry, and Curly. I had never thought of that. Anyway, Brady, you're right. Brady could be Curly. What am I thinking? Sorry about that. I'm Shemp. Who am I fooling? We got a Curly.
Sorry, I didn't mean
Let's
to
get you in there.
make that too obvious.
I saw the nudge.
How have I not put all this together? Mo, Larry, and Brady is even better. I don't need to be that. I'm like the weird zookeeper. All right, you guys have to get out of here. And then, whoop, 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 whoop. So we're talking about that Infinity, which one, the Endgame?
Endgame.
And I'm in the office, and I hadn't seen any of it. And Larry had a bootleg copy. And we're watching. I'm like, this looks like garbage. And he goes, well, it looks better on a big screen. I'm like, I don't know. It looks like crap to me. And then they had that girl power scene where all the girl superheroes got together.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I'm like, so the bad guys are all dead, and then all the sequels will start, and each individual one goes, oh, no, like 10 of them are dead. And I'm like, so they've got some sort of magic that will bring most of them back?
And
no,
they did the next
this
one.
time they're not going to do that. And I'm like, guys, it's $1 billion franchise based on those characters. They're not dead.
The only one that's dead is Tony Stark.
Come on.
He's dead.
Yeah, they're going to have like
He's
Obi-Wan
dead.
moment. They didn't do like what Star Wars did, which was kill guys and they stayed
Right.
dead.
Right.
I mean, their image would come, use the Force, Luke. But that's just old tape. Tony Stark is dead until they find
they
an
reverse
origin story.
time,
They'll have
John.
their origin story. And they'll cast a new one, and Robert Downey Jr. will be the executive producer, and dummies will plop down their $20, and it'll be $1 billion movie that's so predictable and painful. But I will admit that it probably does look amazing on the screen compared to at home. Because this movie, Silence of the Lambs, is not a visual spectacular by any stretch. In fact, it's bleak. I don't know. The Chamber of Commerce of Baltimore, Maryland should have sued everybody for all the shots of Maryland that are like just Elk River, West Virginia, and Belvedere, Ohio, and all the Pittsburgh was where they filmed a ton of it, and they found like the most desolate, gross, fall, no leaves, winter shots.
Yeah.
Awful.
Gray.
Nothing about this movie is shiny or happy at all. And but it's like it worked. And I've seen it. I can't tell you how many times. I remember it came out on, that's the craziest thing. It came out on Valentine's Day of 91. It was a date movie for a lot of folks. And 30 years later, that popped. You saw Smokey and the Bandit at this thing? Oh, man.
Goodfellas, Friday. I'm trying to think what else. I went and seen
You saw
the original.
Friday?
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't need to be seen.
Dirty Harry.
Did you see Friday at Christown?
No.
Oh,
Come
next
on,
time
where's
Friday
your ball?
happens,
I didn't know
we're going.
Thunder Horse then. Otherwise, I would have went.
Well, you hadn't met a black yet? What's the matter with you? Yeah, I would love to see.
Did you see they're
Yeah.
doing a Sopranos roundtable in Mesa?
Oh, we're going to that.
Yeah.
Are you?
Oh, Brett and I are way
You're
ahead.
already way ahead on that.
way ahead. Michael Imperioli and it's going to be
Sharipa?
great.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Paulie Walnuts.
No, he's not going to be there.
He's not doing it. I thought Tony Sirico was part of it.
No,
Oh.
He's on the
That story, right?
Yeah.
Big Pussy
Big
and
Pussy.
Mike.
Big Pussy.
Chris.
Bobby and Chris.
Oh.
Yeah,
Worth it.
It's not Paulie. If it was Paulie, I'd be in line right now, waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Just a picture of you two.
If
Talk about
Paulie,
not reminiscing. That's a picture you need. On
Oh,
your
yeah.
wall.
Oh,
You
that'll
and
be
him.
your Norm Macdonald when Paulie dies. You'll
Oh,
be like,
my
oh,
God,
no.
don't do that.
Now, can you imagine if he came in and you guys made kind of friends? I know, he's crying.
I'm a little teary right
Could
now.
you imagine if you? These are those moments where somebody you've looked at on TV and said, "This is for some reason. This is something huge." Like for me, and like I said, Norm and Phil Hartman were the guys. Like I don't know why I'm connecting to these people so much, but I mean, even through the TV, I'm like that guy right there. That's what I want. You and Paulie Walnut.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to meet Norm. I got to hang with Norm. If Paulie and you had a moment here in the show, hey Bret. Let's go over to the Italian American Club. What do you say?
Oh, man.
And the next thing
Can't
you know,
imagine walking in with Paulie.
it would be an ejac. It would be the Bellagio of Italian ejac.
It'd be like throwing out rose petals and stuff like that.
it'd be the
Like,
Trevi
Carrying me
Fountain.
in like in Return
It
of
would
the
be
Jedi.
like 1,000 perfectly harmonized. Whoa! Hey!
on a
And like Caesar would come out of the ground, and ghosts of old Romans and Italians would that would recreate the council. Pretty amazing. But those are those things where you're like, man, if you could get, and there's a chance he'd do something in here. That's the crazy part. Like if the Sopranos had,
We need to work on that.
oh, Toledo, get on that. Okay, try to get Bret to meet his. Let's do that. Brady, who's yours? Chef Boyardee's not alive.
Yeah.
Who would be somebody that you're like, hey, Toledo, get me that guest? I like, because for me, honestly, Norm would have been a top fiver for me coming into this job of who do you want in the studio? Norm. Quentin Tarantino we had on the phone.
Yeah.
He'd be on my list.
He'd be on the list. He was awesome.
Letterman, but I know that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
In the room.
Not in the room. We'd have to go to him.
And I don't know that I want to meet Letterman now.
With the long beard? Why?
No, because he got all political and full-out lib cuck. I mean, he just got he wasn't Letterman anymore. He became Harry's dad and got all he you know, people Dave was a pioneer in TV, and then all of a sudden he ended up being the same thing as Stephen Colbert. All of his stuff was kind of all right. You're a little, and that whole TV show he had on Netflix. He's not a good interviewer. He's always just been a good ringmaster. Who was yours? Let's bring
I don't
somebody
have
in
one
here.
right off the. I mean, there's a ton that I'd be like, oh, that's would be cool to
But
meet.
like
but
as a kid,
yeah,
it can be anybody. It can be anybody. Like if it's Archie Griffin, if it's somebody from your childhood, like a poster on your wall, or like was there ever time I got to see this guy? You had no emotions as a child.
no, but I
Like nobody, you didn't have like that kid idol thing. You didn't have that. This guy's the best. Run to his movies. Run to his shows.
early on, like as far as tennis, Bjorn Borg, Johnny Mack,
And that would be John McEnroe coming in
you
this
go,
room.
John
Would be
Mack.
like, oh. And then next thing you know, you and McEnroe are talking.
yeah,
Hey, Brady, let's go get some lunch.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm going to blow you, McEnroe.
It's going to happen.
You're going to get a McEnroe
This
blowjob.
cannot be happening.
You cannot be serious.
Do it again. Do it again. Was clearly out.
He's right in my throat. It was out. And yours probably Paulie.
Probably.
Who else you
Well,
got?
I mean,
Wow.
Pacino.
Oh, well, please. Now you're shooting for the stars,
moon.
mate. That's
De
not gonna
Niro, he
happen.
does everything now. I mean, he might actually come in.
You know what? I'm doing a contest for you at 8 o'clock. The De Niro Double Down, huh? Raging Sitting Bull. Yeah, De Niro might come in.
He himself out for everything right
Throwing
now.
a movie
so-
called Really, Really Bad Indian Grandpa. De Niro Double Down. Savage Grandpa, it's called. It's another one from Haynes. He redid all of his movies as if they were Native American.
Toledo would be
Grandpa. Oh, Toledo. It would be his dad.
All right, let's get something more attainable here.
Yeah, pick Pesci. We can get him. Your dad's not coming.
Somebody for you guys? Probably when I was younger, Eddie Murphy was
Yeah.
the guy that I always loved watching all of his movies.
But you don't have one that's uniquely yours, kind of like people, because I don't think
One that's
Norm's
not anybody else,
on the
no.
peak of everybody's list of saying, who would you like to meet in show business? And Norm would have been on my list.
Well, Well, it happened in here. Brewer, I loved Brewer for the longest time, and then meeting him in the studio was
cool.
just awesome.
Brewer's pretty great
because he was just so cool. Yeah. And Jay Moore was a little bit of a
he's bananas.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize how bananas
he's bananas,
he was.
but I always liked Jay Moore too. But he's Jay Moore.
Suicide Kings. I love Jay Moore and Suicide Kings.
That's an odd one too. Your list is poor.
Oh, thank you. Did you expect less?
No, I didn't. I was boring. I was bored by Toledo's list. Imagine that. We should get Jay Gutentag in here to be your idol.
Well, you've seen one of them, Randy Johnson. I just sat in a room with him and just stared.
See, there you go.
I just stared at him.
How cool was that meeting? Having Randy Johnson like laughing hysterically at me, you're funny. And then I'm like, holy crap, this isn't real. Like, this moment isn't real, being pals with Randy. Brady's on a road trip with the guy, hanging out and sharing hotel rooms because they're two
bad hotel rooms.
The two of them are too cheap to get their own Motel 6 room. They shared a hotel.
That was for the drag races, right?
There he is, his tidy whities.
Yeah, I don't care how much I admire or idolize anyone. I'm not sharing a room.
You're not doing a road trip?
I don't know how you did that.
You wouldn't do a road trip with Norm?
Of course it was, except for the sleeping in the same room part. That's unnecessary. You have your blast and you go your ways. You too.
Yeah, it was like no big deal.
Yeah,
but you think about it.
Weird.
Yeah.
You got this like super multi-millionaire.
You got to understand, not only the room, it was rental car, everything.
Well, the rental car,
cash at the door. He's this multi-millionaire. Here you go.
Yeah.
We're all square.
Yeah. And he's paying you back the $28 for the $40.
$99 room.
Yeah, and for the
here's your $50.
I owe you for this one, Toby.
It's Brady, but okay. $100 room and you guys couldn't get your own?
Right. No,
this coming from me, for God's sake.
Oh, that's right.
Look, I booked all my own stuff, and he's like, "Cool, we'll share a room, and I'll get on the same flight." I'm like, "All right, here we go."
Well, which is fine.
Yeah,
that's good. But then you tell him, you get in your own room.
I said,
Randy.
"Are you sure?" No, it's cool.
You tell him. I don't care. It's cool. He's not telling me it's cool. If I get a room at the Aria,
when he said he sleeps on his stomach, I knew I was in.
And that's the thing, Brady. You should have tried to Randy Johnson. That's a better story.
So they tried to get in bed.
And I would have. I'm like, we're going to share a room. We're going to share a bed, Randy, because this is good for me.
I just looked it up. The guy's made approximately $115 million.
At least.
And you're splitting a room with him?
Yeah.
Man.
And that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Had to hit him up for some Porkopolis investment opportunities.
But
less than that.
But that's not how it was. Only like 12, maybe. It doesn't matter that you say I booked a room. The person that says, okay, I'll share that with you is wrong. And you say, no, you won't. Get your own room. That's not how it works. When you said you're coming to Vegas, my body cringed. But luckily I had a big suite. And I'm like, well, there's a couch.
Yeah, it was nice that you threw out. But,
there's a couch, but...
I go, you love couches.
Yeah, I'm not staying on the couch. There's a couch, and then there's a lock on the bedroom, and you don't use the main bathroom. I had 2 bathrooms. There was a small powder room for you. No shower. You're gonna have to. And I'm like, he doesn't want this. So I passive aggressively kicked you out by saying, sure, come on up, stay in the couch area. That's as good as it gets for you. But he got his own room because he knows me.
Got a pool and a pond.
Yeah, I got pond. Pond be good for you.
And the other thing is you know. On that option, it was just between a couch. I'd buy a room.
That's right.
So did you get your own room, or did you?
Oh, okay. He knew better. He knows not to do that. Shared a room with him once, and he turned the electric tub on and left it there all night, buzzing and screaming.
I was like, it's been a while since we've had stories.
No, I don't need
that.
Like, that story was awful. The story is good, but it's the last. And the reason the story is good is because it ends with that is the last time I'll share a room with you. Between the snoring and the horrible bathtub.
Dry jets.
The dry jets, because Brady had to have a bubble bath before bed.
Good soak.
It was awful. And I slept on the couch in that room, that big win room. It was great. Brady did credit badger the downstairs girl until she gave us the upgrade and we got a better room. And I slept in the living room about 100 feet from Brady while he played a Washington Lager with his nose all night long.
Yeah, because this was pre-CPAP, right?
Oh, it was pre-CPAP.
Yeah.
It was hearts on last leg sleeps. He snored louder than the
Such
bubble
a great
bath,
bed.
the bubble bathtub he left on that had the jets in it and drained it and then left the thing on
What's
it.
that?
He wakes up. What was that? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, I left those jets on.
Oh, okay. Oh, did you fall asleep that fast?
Wait.
And we turn them off.
When we did Homeless for the Holidays, he was on Gen 1 of the CPAPs, and that thing was loud, and we were in that.
Brett, you would loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I have to have sound when
Yeah.
I sleep, so I'd probably have been fine with that.
Yeah. Well, you don't need.
Oh, well, yeah, that I wouldn't. So it's like sitting next to Darth Vader or what?
I was sitting next to giggling, tickle me Darth Vader.
Oh, well, get off me, Winona Judd.
What are you dreaming about? And then so I just went and got a. People don't know that about the homeless for the holidays, but there was a night I just got up and got a room.
There was a couple, wasn't there?
Oh, I couldn't take it.
Sleeping in your car.
I could sleep out. Oh, I slept in my car almost every one of them. Because mainly Snoreboy and then that thing he had plugged into the Tempe Market. I'm like, I can't do this. And it would rattle, and I think that was him. Yeah, it is weird, though. I would like to see you meet Paulie because I think that would be something I'd enjoy watching.
Oh, man.
Especially if he still had the wings, the silver wings.
That's going to be me when I get
does,
older.
doesn't
Oh, yeah.
That's your job, Rich.
Okay.
Because Brett's new. We got to get Brett his one interview. We should do that.
And an easier one, too. I mean, like a Frank Thomas, because that was going sports side.
There's another one.
That's probably an easier one.
Mine would be Dave Kingman.
Would you?
Just
Just
I want
to
to
tell him
talk
to
to him
F
about the
off?
story. No, I
okay.
want to have a discussion that day where he flipped me off.
Dustin Monsoon has Brady's up there.
Oh, he's got Brady's idol. Brady, you've been through, the Norm Macdonald thing affected me. You've been through this recently, and I want to apologize as a friend and not take into consideration how much it had to hurt, because your idols, according to Dustin, were Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima, and they're both gone.
Yeah. I've had time to deal with it.
And the worst thing is, together, like he would pour Aunt Jemima on Uncle Ben. It's the weirdest combo. Syrup rice. Yeah, it's strange. This guy emails says, hey, you funny mother effers. I've only been listening about a year, but it's better than anything I've ever listened to. Not saying much because I was born in the Dirty T. That's Tucson.
Oh, yeah.
I like calling Tucson the Dirty T. Congrats on 20 years. Are you friends with John Jay? He and Rich also celebrating 20 years. Anyway, I only get to listen from 8 to 10 every day because I have to listen to my computer. Shh. There you go. Thanks, Thomas. That's very nice of you. The Dirty T from Thomas. He nicknamed Tucson.
Perfect.
From here on out, we're going to watch all those throwback movies at Christown. I'm going to watch especially the horror.
Especially if Friday comes back.
Well, if Friday comes back, I'm just going to stand in the back row of that and watch. I think that's...
We all got to go to that.
Are we 20 years on Undercover Brother yet?
No, Brady,
That was
that's
at
not going to
Christown.
come. We're not bringing that back. We watched that together.
Soul Plane.
At Christown.
Brady and I went to the old Christown Theater to watch Undercover Brother, and it was just the two of us. There was nobody else in there.
Why?
I don't know why we went and saw it.
Big Eddie Fisher fan?
I don't know what we were thinking.
No. What was his Eddie Griffin?
Eddie Griffin, yeah.
Oops.
Eddie Fisher.
Fisher.
Isn't that-
The
Man,
old
you went
singer.
deep.
The old singer.
Carrie Fisher's dad. It's Debbie Reynolds' ex-husband.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I don't remember. Was Undercover Brother a remake of an old Eddie Fisher classic? I don't remember that. Eddie Fisher should be the guy you want to meet. Toledo.
Okay.
I want to go to Christown and watch Silence of the Lambs next time it comes on, because I know they'd be yelling about how dumb that girl is, because you watch it, you're like, you idiot. When he wants to get that stupid recliner in that van and she gets in backwards, you're like, oh, no, you just know. You need help with that? Would you? That'd be great. I'm like, oh, no. Gently places the lotion on the skin.
Precious.
Oh, it's so good. And Precious, the dog. Precious is a little bit fat, too. We noticed that on the big screen. Precious for a poodle was a Bichon Frise. He's about a size 14 in Bichon Frise standards, too. The guy liked fat white things. He did. He loved them. But, yeah, that movie held up. So, and then I got a few of them, but I don't know that I'd go see. Like Smokey and the Bandit would be one I'd go back to throwback.
Oh, yeah.
That had to be great. Did you saw that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely. Goodfellas. Caught that one on the big screen.
I don't know if I could sit through Goodfellas again for
Godfather 1 and 2.
Oh, together?
Yeah, I didn't
Same
do them on
day?
the same day. No.
Oh, that's too much.
Thought about it,
That's
and I was
a
like, yeah, I
lot.
could do this. I could do that. No, I can't.
That's a lot. Yeah, there's a few I'd probably watch, but that one, that's a classic to me. That one, I think I'd watch No Country for Old Men up on the screen.
Star Wars.
The OG?
No, because the last time they did the Star Wars thing, they added all those graphics to the original.
Yeah, you'd have to have
Oh,
the
that's-
original because he changed it.
And I went back and watched that, and I'm like, it's all loopy, stupid special effects stuff now. See, I would go, like, No Country for Old Men has no business being a movie that I care about on the big screen versus but when it's bigger, it just seems the suspense is better. Like, because last night, again, the movie at the end, I'm like, Jesus, this has suspense again. I know every line of this movie, and I'm like, this is great seeing it this loud and big.
Well, David Chase is all bent out of shape that HBO is releasing the Saints of
New Jersey.
Yeah.
In theaters. Saints of Newark, that's right, and on HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm going to the theater to see that one.
That one I
And
go.
he's like, it shouldn't be on there. Just
On
theaters
HBO
only.
Max, yeah.
He wants it in the theaters only.
Well, I hate the movie theater. I can't stand it. Like, and you know, yesterday I would get a Diet Coke, and then she pours it here. She goes, "Okay, 1 Coke Zero, 1 Coke." I'm like, "Oh, can I get a Diet Coke?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure." And I'm like, "Actually, can I switch it to Diet Dr Pepper?" Because I saw they had it, and I got a Dr Pepper. Like, she just didn't know. She didn't know what word diet means. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll drink it. But you're 0 for 2, and the only job you've got is to make sodas out of a thing that just has them all lit.
If you'd have went to the right theater, sir, you wouldn't have this problem.
But she didn't know that at that point. Oh, it was great, though. Just give me 2 new tickets. Sir, we don't want you to have to double pay for the movie. I'm like, it's $5. I'll be all right. Well, we really do apologize. It's like, it's not your fault. Like, everything about this is just a pain. And I always say, I just missed the paper tickets. Well, you can print yours out. I'm like, no. I like going to the thing, buying tickets, you give them to me, and then I go give them to Bernie Sanders.
Right.
And then Bernie said, and for whatever reason, that's a job. I buy tickets. They can't clear me. They can't be the one that
bips it. You should be able to show
it.
your phone if that's what we're doing now.
If I have to go to a counter without tickets to show you I've got tickets, 2 birds.
Yep.
Blip. Oh, no. And he's sitting in a glass COVID booth, Bernie is. A little tiny cutout.
That's right.
Where his hand comes through. Oh, you got to put the thing up against the thing. Oh. Boop. Says you're no good here. Says you didn't, you're probably too rich, not paying taxes. I'm like, settle down, Bernie. Just, here's the receipt. $13.78 after taxes. I bought the ticket. Well, it says here that they're invalid. And, there's a lot wrong in this country. And I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. Hey, Bernie, and I told the girl, I'm like, Bernie says we can't get in.
Oh, okay.
She didn't even blink. I think it might be him. I haven't heard much from Bernie since the election.
No.
I think he's blipping tickets over at this Fashion Square. I got a job as a ticket guy to blend with the people, to get you into your films. Highly recommend the new Trolls movie. Comes out in a few weeks. I got a sneak preview. Timberlake is electric. But go there. Next time you go to the Fashion Square, do you ever go to that theater? It's a beautiful theater, but I just don't like being around that many people.
Yeah, not too often.
Go there, and Bernie's your ticket taker, and you will laugh because you'll
It'll
see
be worth the.
First off, you'll see him from a distance, and you'll go, "Oh, that is," and you'll get closer, and you're like, "Holy, that's Bernie." That's not. This isn't funny anymore.
Wait a minute.
Welcome to Hawkins Fashion Square. I'm your ticket taker, Bernard. May I see your phones, please? The technology is unbelievable. Nope, these are no good. You got to go back to the desk that you got these at, and then they will beep you to clear to go through. It's 2 forms of authenticity to get into a goddamn movie. I have to authenticate my tickets twice to go see a 30-year-old movie.
The paperless tickets is just ridiculous. We had problems at the show for Stained and Corn. The line was wrapped around the building as Stained was even going on.
Right.
I mean,
they can't get in.
No.
The Suns game, I missed the first quarter of a finals game that I spent a fortune on to get that suite. And, all the people that I was with, I'm like, I'll get the suite. You guys buy the tickets out of the suite. It'll all come close to balance. I didn't come close to balance, but it's better. And I had to spend the first quarter of the last home game down in the thing because Chris Kelly's ticket wouldn't work. And the lady kept telling me, the one lady kept saying it was better the old way. And the other one was like, this technology, this keeps the scalpers out of the game. And I'm like, guess who else it's keeping out of the game? People who paid an exorbitant amount of money to see it. And now I got to sit and deal with your computer issue. Every time. We went to L.A. The tickets didn't work. There were 100 people standing outside the Clippers and Suns game. Kevin Rave's he get paid by the
From
Suns.
the inside.
And he's like, no, these tickets are no good. So then I got tickets to Tame Impala on Saturday. It says Sunday, September 18th on the ticket. And it's a hard ticket. But now everybody's worried that nobody's going to honor them. And I'm like, look, clearly it's for the show. You just put Sunday on there instead. It's an accident. Clear that up. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think we're going to have to go with digitals on this one. I'm like, if you screw up the hard tickets, how bad are the digital tickets going to be? And I don't think I'm going to go anymore because it's the prove you're a COVID shot, and you've got
carry the card.
Well, you got to carry the card. If the card's not good enough, you have to have a negative test within the last 30 hours. I'm like, this isn't worth it. I like them. I don't like them enough to, and I know why I'm going to not be happy about it, because we got to stand in line for 3 hours while they do COVID check and create that disaster instead of just letting people in.
At Guns N' Roses, you had a lot of the older people there that couldn't figure out how to use the app on their phone.
Right.
So then the line is just waiting for people to fumble through their phones.
It's just forever. I wish I'd have gotten that guy those mittens. Thank you very much. They do keep the temperature rather chill in here. I could go for my mittens. Would be nice at this juncture. But it's hard to tear tickets with mittens. That's why I've got my electric. Of course, the mittens make it so the touchscreen doesn't work. So it's a double-edged catch-22 for old Byrne. Anyway, enjoy your film. Theater 2 is to your right. You mean the one marked 2? That's the one. Thanks, Bernie. I would have never guessed it by that 7'2" outside the door. That's the dead giveaway. Feel the burn. But in the end, it was all my fault because I had the wrong theater anyway. But
Did they know?
Nope. And that's even worse.
I know.
That their stupid systems. Oh, sir, you bought for the wrong theater. This happens all the time. Or Fandango sent you the thing and it clicked over there. Sorry about that. We can fix it. But they didn't.
So you wanted on like, I'm not going to let them know it was my fault.
Oh, I figured it out at the Coke. I'm like, oh, this is why. It says Chris down. Like, oh, that was from me. That was my fault.
Through the ring.
We're turning around, telling the people in line, it's not us, it's their system. Like, I know this paper ticket. We just everybody, young, old, doesn't matter. Well, it's the old way. Nobody likes this stupid blip thing. I don't mind the technology. Just make sure it's working. Now, in this particular case, it worked just fine. I was the problem. But
even
still.
Flying, I have the
paper ticket?
boarding pass, and I get a paper boarding pass still, just in case.
It's not a bad idea.
Putting that on your phone?
I don't do the paper one. I keep it on my phone because it goes right into my wallet. And that
the Apple Wallet.
Yeah, it does. And that's what I have it on there. But I'm like, you want to print one?
I do
go
the
ahead.
backup as well.
But that's why I fly JSX.
Yeah.
You go there and they give you a receipt like at Costco. It's like, here. You don't need to, like, basically what they're saying is, I don't want your problems and you don't want my problems. So let's just make this
And there's
here.
the counter and there's your plane.
Your
they can see you
like, here you
the
go.
whole time.
You pretty much take your ticket and they're like, get on.
Yeah.
All right. And like 8 minutes later, you're in the air going, what was wrong with this system? I didn't walk through one metal detector. If a terrorist tries to take down a JSX plane, you got 15 people in like a small building. Big deal. So you crashed a JSX. And they basically look at it like, go ahead, we dare you to crash our plane. We don't care. It's the best.
You're saying it's like a lady finger? The fireworks? A small firecracker?
Baby. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. It's no big deal.
We got an offer from our Phoenix cop buddy, Michael. If we want to go see Friday or Boys in the Hood at Christown, he will be an armed escort for us.
No.
I'm the wrong message. That's the right message.
I, as everyone knows, support the police. I think they're great. But I am not dragging one to a Christown Mall during a Friday showing.
Or Boys in the Hood.
Oh, Boys in the Hood on there?
That's not
on the list. Oh.
It has been on there, though. I didn't go and see it, that one. But
I'd go see that. But not with a cop. What set you roll with? You look like one of them Crenshaw Mafia motherfuckers to me. You boys have a nice day. Oh, man. I go see Boys in the Hood in a heartbeat.
Furious Styles.
Furious is the best. You still got one brother left, though. Please. Doughboy was shot 2 weeks later. Yes. God, that movie's great.
John, it's not always cool to meet your heroes. When I got blown up in Iraq, I was sent to Longstuhl, Germany for surgeries and recovery. Howie Long and Terry Bradshaw visited me. I'm a huge Raider fan, and Long is my childhood hero. But I was so high on morphine and Percocet, I just sat there and drooled like an idiot.
Well, Terry Bradshaw where's your legs, boy?
Slapping him.
They're in Iraq, I think. That's too bad.
Here's a tub.
Taking some of the drip.
Here's a tub with a doll on it. Yeah, you never really want to meet your heroes. But when it works out, it's great. Yeah, being friends with your heroes is weird. Yeah. Like that thing with Randy Johnson was too. Sometimes I felt like, well, now we're just palling around. I don't like this. That day at the concert,
At the comedy show.
Oh, he wouldn't stop. Like he was like fanboying me a little bit. Like, oh, try to be funny now. I'm like, okay, Randy, enough. Like, there's a certain point where the guy that used to admire.
I think you actually said those words to him. I remember you did say that. Enough. I think backstage.
That's enough. Well, at the Celebrity Theater, I grabbed the mic and told everybody to leave Randy alone. Remember that?
Yeah.
He helped us judge our Play-Doh show, and I'm like, all right, everybody, walking up to this guy, knock it off. The reason he doesn't come out and see you is because you all act like idiots. Well, please don't do this. Please stop doing that. Well, no, Randy, I'm doing you a favor because you're the one telling them no autographs, and they won't leave you alone. But there was a moment where backstage at Celebrity, like, I'm done talking to you. That's enough. That's enough, Randy. You're bothering.
One more.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It's 7:14. Let's get a wake-up song, shall we?
Let's do it.
What do you got over there?
All right. The wake-up song brought to you by our buddies over there at Action Ride Shop. Josh and boys, going to hook you up. If you're going to hit the trails this weekend, going to ride out to, what was it, Browns Ranch or whatever that is?
Yeah, don't go out there right now. The investigation continues.
So, they got you hooked up with all the bikes, e-bikes, all the gear you're going to need. And, of course, they got the 5-alarm coffee blend out there. So hit them up at actionrideshop.com as well as on Instagram, Facebook, and all the other fun stuff. And on the list here, we got Volbeat, Die to Live, Slipknot.
Come on.
I know.
Come on.
Oh, they're a very sensitive group.
Metallica, Fade to Black, Cemetery Gates. Jerry Reed, Eastbound and Down for Turd Ferguson.
That's the one.
Who's Turd Ferguson?
That was when he did Burt Reynolds on the Jeopardy.
That's right.
With his big hat.
Yeah.
Turd Ferguson was his answer.
Yeah,
it's funnier because it's big.
Yeah. Oh, man. You know what? Done. Jerry Reed is today's wake-up song. In a very twisted and meta tribute to Norm Macdonald. We'll do another one later today.
There you go. This one, remember?
Oh, that was so funny.
Got any gum?
That was his Letterman joke. Got any gum?
Yeah.
When he would.
And finally, back again, Burt Reynolds in a commanding lead with $14.
Hey, check out the podium. Look at this.
Mr. Reynolds has apparently changed his name to Turd Ferguson.
It's great. It's not even a good impression. It's just him chewing gum with a mustache, but it's great. The character's better. Oh, that was fun. Anyway, Norm. We'll do Eastbound and Down by Jerry Reed as the wake-up song today for Turd Ferguson. That's
the
a great
first time
suggestion.
it's been played on KUPD.
I don't think it is, actually.
Already? You guys have done it before?
I think it's probably like this is probably the 100th time we played Eastbound and Down. It's a great song, though. A band, like a rock band, should crush this.
Oh, yeah.
We get the boys in Sodomizing Linda to try to put a Eastbound and Down together. Hey,
for
Jerry
your
Reed's
show that's
dead.
coming up.
Marty, if you're listening, it's only 2 minutes long. I rock out a little Eastbound and Down, Jerry Reed style.
Great.
You got your ears on, Bandit. Black is beautiful and expensive. Oh, my goodness. All right, Jerry Reed for Norm Macdonald.
I'll run on stage in the sheriff's
what?
outfit. I'll run on stage when he's Eastbound and Down, like I'm chasing the bandit
come out
with a Diablo burger in my hand.
And a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I want it.
You really, really, really want it?
Yes, I really want it.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.